there, I really liked being on both versions and also on the main Steve Harvey daytime talk show. And guess what?
This is the Prodigy Talks, and today I have with me absolutely fabulous prodigy, Akash Vukoti. And hello, Akash, how are you?
Hey, hi, Mr. Kavin. Thank you so much for having me. And also, hello and namaste to all of our viewers. Today, very, very special for 3 reasons. First of all, happy Diwali, everyone, because today's Deepavali, so happy Diwali, everyone. And then 2, today is also Children's Day because today is November 14th, which marks the anniversary of the birthday of our very first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji. So happy Children's Day. And thirdly, and most importantly, I'm here on Prodigy Talks. I'm joking, no, but still, Thank you so much for having me here.
No, but thanks for being here. Today is, of course, one, it is Diwali, and the other one, it is Children's Day. And for those of you who do not know what Children's Day is in India, and like Akash did mention, the first Prime Minister of India, his fondness for children and his belief in children is what led us to celebrate his birthday as Children's Day. And as a person who runs a few educational institutions, since morning we've been going on Children's Day. So it's fabulous that Akash is here today, so which is very good. So Akash, just tell us a little about yourself. Tell us about where you're taking this call from. And for all of you, for the noise around me, this is the Festival of Lights and the Festival of Crackers too. So I have my neighbors going on a fireworks bonanza. Of course, I can't do anything about it. So please bear with us for the noise as much as you enjoy Akash and me talking. All right. So Akash, tell us a little about yourself, please.
Yes. So my parents say that I first started reading at a very early age, like when I was 1 or 2 years old. And I competed in my first spelling bee when I was just 2 years old. And then I was inducted into the High IQ Society Mensa when I was 3, and I became a Davidson Young Scholar when I was 5. In 2016, I won my San Angelo area regional spelling bee championship, and I competed as the youngest boy ever to compete in the Scripps National Spelling Bee when I was just 6 years old. And in that same week, 2 hit shows on which I was featured aired one after the other in that same week. And they were both hits, little big shots. And following this came a wave of many TV opportunities. And I was featured on shows not only in the US, but also in the UK, India, and Australia. I was featured on HBO and BBC documentaries, and that time was amazing. In 2018, I was a celebrity contestant on Hollywood's longest running hit TV dancing show, Dancing with the Stars Juniors. And there also, I was the youngest competitor there. And recently, in June of this year, the award-winning Netflix documentary film, Spelling the Dream, was released in over 190 plus countries and received very, very, very good reviews from not only the US, but also from the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Hindu, the Guardian, Indian Express, and also from Australia, New Zealand, and even Singapore. Coming to awards in 2017, the two largest Telugu associations in North America, Dana and Nats, presented me with the Special Recognition Award and the Dharana Vamana honorary title, respectively. And guess what? In the beginning of this year, I received the Global Child Prodigy Awards 2020, for which I'm so proud and so thankful for. So thank you so much, GCPA. Thank you so much.
So I very often ask these kids to say, tell us a little about yourself. And then I get bits and pieces here and there. I just got you say, I got a very illustrious profile about you now. Now I have to make up for all the shortcomings that I have in my research. So
it's fine. I think you've got it all.
I have a fair bit of it here, and which I've been meaning to talk about anyway. So Akash, how old are you now? I mean, that's the only thing that was left out in the brief you gave me now.
Yeah, I am 11 years old and I'm in 6th grade from the state of Texas in the United States.
Yay! Where all the drama's going on right now. So
yeah, basically during this election period, it's all hazy now.
Yeah, we leave that out of the way. There's enough of it in the news. So Akash, you're 11 now, and you've had a fairly illustrious career so far. I wouldn't call it a career, but then you've had a really fairly illustrious upbringing as well. You've been recognized fairly young, and you are continuously being called up for more opportunities. I see a lot of colorful trophies at the back, but let me just ask the most. Yeah, let me just ask the most basic question, right? Do you do this for the recognition, or do you do this for the joy of doing it?
I'm going to let you pick. It's the first one or the second one. Try to guess.
Okay, I am going to say for the joy of doing it.
You're correct. Because
there you go.
I only started when I was just 2 years old. So I mean,
yeah.
You can't really convince a toddler,
a 2-year-old,
to do spellings unless they're really actually into it. So when I started, I didn't even think that I would get any of this recognition. I was just doing this because I love doing it. And I think that's what everyone should do. They should follow their passion. And that's what I've been doing.
Absolutely.
I was
Absolutely. Now, the reason I asked you that is your mom and dad have played a vital role, and I've seen your mom and dad at the Global Child Prodigy Awards. If not, I've seen your dad more specifically. I was at the show myself. I was one of the speakers. I spoke for a very brief moment because everybody else was talking for long, and I didn't want to talk for long. So it is not my style to keep people waiting. And the reason I ask this is I have parents, and all your parents who are writing to me, that this is, I want my child to be recognized. Being recognized is good. It's fabulous. But at the same time, please do not push your children to be recognized. Let them enjoy the process of getting there, because some way you will be recognized, knowingly or unknowingly. And that is I see Akash as a testament to that. So Akash, now, this morning I received about five emails where parents, there's absolutely no harm in asking for recognition for your children, but just, wait it out. I'm sure it'll happen, give them the space. So Akash, I'm going to start with the first thing, spelling, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, a lot of Indians end up, taking the spotlight in India in spelling bee competitions, and the next Asian country would be China, right? So is that like a thing in the US? They look at you and they're like, hey, you must be a smart kid. Is there something like that happens because you're in Mensa, you've got I don't even know what the scholarship is, but you've got a good scholarship there. So how do people react to you in the United States? Do they come up to you and say, hey, spell this for me?
Well, to be fair, it's not like spell this for me immediate, but really, after I finished up my first nationwide show here, Little Big Shots, suddenly everywhere I went, and at least one person if not multiple, would notice me and go, "Hey, it's Akash over there," and they talk to me, and like I don't know, it's really amazing, and it's also a humble feeling that I get from having fans of mine talk to me. It's like not only
It is a nice
comments
thing.
on my YouTube channel, but also in real life, it encourages me to do even more. And I'm grateful to my fans. It's really.
So, do you know what happened with Bruce Lee, right? A lot of people would go to Bruce Lee and say, you know what, I want to fight you. That's something they used to do. I mean, but taking a parallel from there, when people throw challenges at you randomly on the street and say, spell something that you just don't think you can spell, and when you blow them off, it is also an acknowledgement of the faith they have in you because they're throwing that question at you with a bit of faith. So, is there anything somebody's asked you and you were like, okay, this is awkward?
That's an interesting question. As of now, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure if that hasn't happened then, it is most likely probably going to happen sometime in the future.
It is bound to happen at some point. Take my word on that. But
Yeah.
has there been any word that has been thrown to you and you felt like, okay, I'm not going to get that? Has there been anything like that?
But like in anywhere or in the spelling?
No, like spelling sense.
Like in the bees, sort of.
Yeah, in the bees, not in the bees alone, but just out in the open. Has anybody come to you and said, okay, spell this for me? And you were like, okay, this is difficult. This one is really difficult. Has there been anything like that so far?
Again, also not yet, but I'm assuming that might happen in the future.
Don't worry, I'm not going to throw something at you right now. I'm not going to do it because I very well know you're going to take it easily, so I'm not going to do that. But how do you go about the whole process of cracking a word down to spell it? How does it work? For all those kids who are watching here right now, this is Diwali. I'm sure some of them are watching it, and some of them would watch the retelecast later.
Yeah.
How do you go about this process, Akash?
So the way I go about the process is first when I learn about the word, I look at it and I see how it's spelled, and then I try to understand why it's like that. But before that, what I tend to do is after I look at the spelling of the word, I then go and look at the meaning of the word, because after the spelling, that's the next important thing to know, because in the spelling bee, there in the written test, there is a section with vocabulary words, and that is one of the most important sections of the entire bee because it separates the top 50 spellers in the entire country and beyond from literally everyone else. So I tend to look at the meaning of the word next and try to sort of quickly grasp that in my mind. And then I search it up in the dictionary so that I can check where the word comes from, the origin, the etymology, and I tend to look at the history of the word and figure out why this word is spelled like this. For example, the word Sveikoman is a very interesting word. It's spelled Svekoman, Sveikoman. First of all, it makes no sense because why would you put a W in a V? But then I realized the word comes actually from Swedish. And so I'm like, okay, it's a Scandinavian language. So they're gonna tend to put W's for the V sound. And then I look at the meaning, which is Sveikoman is a person who lives in Finland, which supports the use of Swedish as the official language of Finland, and Finland obviously is a country in Northern Europe, and Scandinavia is the region. And then what I tend to do is I just tend to dig deeper. I don't know why, but I really love searching everything up into Wikipedia because that's where I get like 98% of my information, 99. So I just tend to search it up in there and dig out more about the word. So that increases my knowledge base. So as it turns out, Svekomans are one side, the other side is called Fennomon, and they support Finnish as the official language of Finland. So now I have these two sides that are just fighting each other in a sense, and they're like that for a while. So it's like
beautiful, beautiful.
Fennomon, and it's like
Lovely. So no, the reason I ask is I'm sure that would be a sort of a supportive lesson for all those people who just try to remember words by spellings and not the context and where they come from. And like you said, really the etymology behind it. Because the more you're aware, the more subconsciously it's going to come to you.
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And the more you feed yourself with that information, I'm sure your brain's accessing it constantly. But has there been any word that you sort of read and then you said, okay, I'm not going to remember that in a lifetime? Has there been any word that has challenged you so far like that?
Well, I mean, there have been quite a lot of words in which I look at it and go, well, I mean, there isn't much context, so I will have to rote memorize this. But I'm pretty sure there must have been some very few words which I've gone, there's no.
Can you give me like one for the trivia of this? Guys, use this on the YouTube video. Come on.
I'm trying to think about it.
What is your kryptonite? Akash, come on. What is your kryptonite? Give me a word that is like your kryptonite.
I'm trying to think. There's so many different weird words. Let's see. Okay, so I think I might have one. Let's see. Let's try emit. It's a very weird word. It is from French. Out of all languages, French is basically one of the most complex. And
I speak basic French, so yeah.
Oh, nice.
I lived in France for about a year and a half.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I also really like French too, because it's very interesting. And
my French is terrible, Akash. My French is terrible. So I survived on English more than French.
Mine is terrible too. I literally just started learning it a few months ago, not much.
But let's face it, you're smarter than I am. You're going to pick up the language much quicker than I am. Okay, let's go on. Emit.
All right. Emit is spelled Emeute. Emit. It doesn't make that much sense because E in French almost always oo or it is never I, and it makes no sense. And I is a very, very, very rare sound to see because it's like O plus E sound. So I, and it's really weird. So that's a very interesting word.
What does that mean? Do you have any idea as to what it means? Emit.
Let me check. I think
don't worry. So emit. So I'm gonna go back to, you went on to Little Big Shots first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was the one hosted by Steve Harvey. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that was the one by Steve Harvey.
So funny enough, you are the second prodigy I'm talking to who went on Little Big Shots. One of them from America, two kids, Freddie and Teddie. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Yeah, the dancing kids, right?
Yes.
Last time I had to get them, I got them up at 6 a.m. for the show. And there was a bit of a confusion with the time change that happened, and we didn't know the time change had come into effect. And I think we from Global Child Prodigy woke them up a little earlier to get on the show, and we didn't realize they were actually 1 hour behind.
Daylight savings time.
Yes, I mean, you don't realize it until you live in that country that the
Yes.
changes happened.
To be fair, it's
Um,
kind of like because daylight savings time is pretty long. It begins in like March and it ends out in November. So so when we woke up on November 2nd, the day it switched over back to normal time, I woke up and I was like, "What? It's that's
you
weird."
slept for 1 hour more, isn't that?
Yes, it just becomes so weird all of a sudden because they're like, what? How is it suddenly 6 now? And it makes
Exactly. And people in India don't understand the difference of a daylight saving time and a switch back in time because we've got like one standard time throughout the year.
yeah.
And
And
I think it'll be a big challenge. So yeah, those are the two kids who had come on board from Little Big Shots, and it's amazing how much of attraction that show has, right?
yes, it's to be fair, it was a super hit, really. It was
I'm sure it was. I saw
millions
yours.
of people watched it, like hundreds of millions on YouTube and social media, and it just blew up worldwide, not just in.
So which one did you enjoy the most? Did you enjoy the American version the most, or did you go on to another country and you thought that was better? The
I've
crowd was more receptive.
actually out of the different, I've actually been on the UK version of Little Big Shots with Miss Dawn French, who is a really great comedian, Enne, very important in French.
Comedian.
Really great. To be fair, I really liked being on both versions and also on the main Steve Harvey daytime talk show. And guess what? Plus all of this, I've also, due to popular demand, I was also called to come back for season 2 of Little Big Shots, and that was really great. And I mean,
I'm sure because
both of
Little Big
them.
Shots has become. Sorry, sorry. Go on.
Oh, what? No, it's fine.
No, I was saying, so Little Big Shots has become like a launch pad for great talent, right?
Yes.
And so how did you get on Little Big Shots? How did that happen? Do you remember?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was as simple as this. Basically, first I was let me think. You're right. So back in the time, I was also competing in a series of Indian American spelling bees to help enhance the spelling capacity of Indian Americans. It's the North-South Foundation. It's called, and they're a nonprofit that helps young kids in India the opportunity to go to school and be fit and things, and to help them to become better and get out of the very poor poverty situation that many of them are in. And North-South, I was competing in the North-South Foundation Spelling Bees. So the founder and former CEO of North-South Foundation, actually, hold on one second. Let me think. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I think I remember now. So the people at Little Big Shots and NBC, they found some of the clips of me and all the things I was doing beforehand, like competing in the different spelling bees and things like that. And then what they did was they contacted us, and my dad, and actually first they contacted NSF to
The foundation.
to talk about bringing in someone from NSF as presumably a spelling kid to be on the show, and then NSF brought in, and then NSF decided to pick me to be on the show. So then they got in touch with me, and then that's how it started.
Very well. No, the reason I ask about it is some of them feel every now and then, if when they hear stories like this, it also helps them understand who all should they be in touch with, just in case to get some support, to get some mentoring, and also be recognized, if at all they can be. So that's exactly why I asked you as to how did the process work for you. And thanks for sharing that. So Akash, now you're a bit of a, in India, a lot of people know you by name, right? And apart from spelling, there are a lot of other talents to your skill sets. And is there anything that you're the most proud of?
Out of everything I've done so far?
So far, yeah.
All right. So out of the things I've done so far, I think my most proudest would probably have to be the Little Big Shots season 1, because that basically kickstarted my entire career. It was, if that show turned out, if one thing was changed in that show, then none of this would have ever happened. I wouldn't be here on Prodigy Talks. None of this would have actually ever happened. But just because it happened like that, in that shape, and that many people watch it worldwide, which is truly amazing. Thank you all so much. Because everything came in the right order, it became a huge super hit, and it kickstarted my entire career. And I'm really, really happy with how that show turned out. And it's really amazing. I was called on to season 2, and I was also on the UK edition, and I was even chosen as the person who would basically promote the show on Steve Harvey's daytime talk show called Steve Harvey. And
are you in touch with Steve Harvey, if I may ask? Are you in touch with him? Well, he's a big celebrity, of course, but does he like reach out to you and say, "Hey, Akash, how you doing?"
To be fair, I mean, he's really big and he's probably a lot busy, so not much. Yeah. But we still do share a nice friendship with each other ever since we began on the show, and we are basically still in touch. We are basically still connected in touch, but not
on a regular basis, of course. Nobody will be able to do that. Yeah.
But secretaries for him, we can get in touch anytime we want, which is
sure. No, I just asked that on a more lighter note, hoping that there was some sort of a trivia there. So, but Steve Harvey's he's a busy man. So I have something else to ask you. You ended up on a dance show, which you said earlier, Dancing with Juniors, right? Mm-hmm. How did that work out for you?
Oh, to be fair, first of all, Dancing with the Stars is Hollywood's most famous TV dance show. And there have been 336 celebrities that have appeared and competed on the show, ranging from Hollywood actors to professional athletes to even the co-founder and former CEO of Apple, Steve Wozniak. It's the other founder. Since it started in the
For those of you who do not know that, there is another founder with Apple.
It was truly my honor to be on Dancing with the Stars. Like, I was jumping with joy when we found out we were actually going to be on Dancing with the Stars, which is amazing. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big thing here in the US. So it was truly my honor and my pleasure to be on the show as the youngest celebrity in Dancing with the Stars. And man, that was amazing. Plus, there was also a funny incident that happened. It was during week 3. We were doing our practice for the dance. We were just finishing up the last step when we accidentally lost our balance and fell to the ground. It was kind of funny. It wasn't from that type of a height. It's hilarious. It's actually on my website. You can go check it out. It's on click Dancing with the Stars, click week 3. It should be there, and you can watch the funny.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
I think you should tell the people what your website is.
Yes. So my website is akashvukoti.com. It has all the information about me.
For those of you who do not know the spelling, please look up his name over here right now. It's Akash Vukoti.
Yes.
Correct?
AKASHVUKOTI.com, Akash Vukoti.
Perfect. So, who runs the website for you? Do you do anything personally? Dad does it for you. Mom does it for you. Who runs the website?
To be fair, it's, my parents help maintain the website, and also my social media. Speaking of which, I've got YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
Do check out his channel. Do check out his channel. Could you want to tell them what your channel is?
Yes, my channel has over 200,000 subscribers, 225,000 subscribers now.
Lovely.
And it's got videos on all sorts of educational topics like math, geography, science, all sorts of topics, and obviously English. Different topics, and plus you can actually learn a new word. Well, actually 7 words every Monday with my Word of the Day series. All the words of the days of an entire week will be uploaded on Mondays, so that way you can learn 1 word every day to improve your vocabulary. And I believe that series is going to be very helpful. We started it. Wow, it's been over a year since we started that series. I can't believe it. But well, thank you. So you can go ahead and go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Akash Vukoti, AKASHVUKOTI. You can find all my videos there alongside some of the hit TV shows of my career as well, because I've uploaded those too.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Akash, I think you have a sort of a packed, schedule normally, right? You're preparing and you study. So are you homeschooled or do you go to school?
I'm actually homeschooled, and that's because it allows me to it allows me to have the flexibility to adjust my schedule where I want. So we do have work and things like that, because after all, it is home school. So we do have homework, but guess what? I can do that literally whenever I like in the day, and it works. Like I can literally do 9 in the evening, 9 in the night, and it still works because it's homeschool, and it allows the flexibility to adjust your schedules depending on what goes where. So I can. So
which curriculum do you follow, Akash? So which curriculum do you follow for your homeschool? I'm sure you must follow one of the curriculums in America. So which is the curriculum that you follow?
To be fair, we mostly follow the curriculum that the state of Texas has already provided. So it's basically the same as most people. It's just the normal curriculum of math and reading and English and writing and reading comprehension and science. And my mom works as sort of my teacher for me, and also as my mom, and she's super awesome, and she also serves, like I said, as my teacher. So she gives the daily homework and things to learn and like that. So we mostly just follow the normal curriculum. My mom usually sets that up for me, and we usually set up what time goes for what thing and what time goes for that thing. So it's mostly my mom helps me put the curriculum, and I'll just do it as planned.
Okay, so because something that I've seen common with most of the prodigies is about 90% of them are homeschooled.
Yay!
Yeah, and the fundamental thing in India is a lot of people think homeschooling is bad, provided you know how to put it to use. It is not. And our educational institutions have been recommending people to take up homeschooling, and practically with the pandemic, everybody's doing homeschool,
Yeah.
right? So it's amazing to see how all of you do follow homeschool. And so, yeah.
The funny thing is, although homeschool is like very flexible, and generally it does feel a little nice to be in homeschool. It is also super expensive because you're losing lots of money, like thousands and thousands. So thank you so much to my parents for homeschooling me ever since I was a little kid, because I've never actually been to school. I've been homeschooled my entire life. Thank you so much to my parents, because they lost, like, I'm pretty sure millions probably.
No, I adore your parents and my sincere respect to them. I don't think they've lost, they've invested in you, and that would be the right way to think about it. And kudos to your mum. So I have to ask you this. Is mum tough on you when she feels you're not living up to your own expectations or your own potential? Is she tough on you?
Well, tough in the sense of
The productive way.
tough is mostly in the sense of love. And to be fair, it doesn't really happen that often. Because she mostly just reminds me about the things that we're doing and trying to remind me about doing it. So to be fair, it doesn't really happen that often. And I'm already self-disciplined anyways, so it's...
Which is a very hard thing for people of my age and people older than me. So you're doing very well. Self-discipline. So mom, you don't give the burden of mom having to be tough on you, which is a wonderful thing, because it is tough as parents knowing when not to pamper. And I'm sure your mom's found the art of doing it very well with you, and that's exactly why you are what you are today, right? So Akash, just a few things, and then I think I'm going to let you off the hook. All right? You've been chosen as one of the prodigies amongst 100 kids in the world. It's like really big, and we have about more than 100,000 applicants every year after the filtration process. And this year, I think we've crossed a few 100,000, and we're still figuring out how to evaluate, right? So, having said that, how does it feel to be a prodigy?
Like, I mean, like, wow, the GCPA this year, it was truly incredible. Like, it was wonderful. It was great, especially on January 3rd this year, the ceremony, the award ceremony. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. Like, I gave a welcome speech there, and I was presented the award by Nobel laureate Shri Kailash Satyarthi ji. I met Governor Kiran Bedi ji and many other great people. And I believe the best part of the whole thing was that I got to interact with other child prodigies from around the world, like, for example, Google Boy Kautilya, and also my fellow friends, fellow child prodigies from America, Rodrigo and Miguel. We all became really good friends, and we're still in touch. And I think that's one of the best parts of the entire Global Child Prodigy Awards. Truly an honor. So many thanks to Team GCPA, and specifically to the founder and CEO, Mr. Prashant. Mr. Prashant.
Oh, he's a lovely chap. Prashant has a wonderful vision. So I'm glad you brought up Rodrigo because I had a talk with him about a few weeks back, and he's a fellow Mensa, right?
Yeah.
So both of you are, and I did talk to Kautilya 4 weeks, a month back. He's an amazing kid, and I see a lot of potential in all of you. And in a sense, you're also carrying the Indian flag as much as you're carrying the American flag too over there. So I'm super proud to see all that you guys have in store as you unravel yourselves to the world. So I have one last question, right? where are you headed with all of this? What do you want to be?
When I grow up.
I don't know. Maybe you'll
Alright.
get this sooner than you grow up. So
Alright,
I'm
let's
just going to ask, what do you want to do?
Okay, well, obviously, regardless of what I want to do, there's one thing I will for sure become an adult Akash. That's very. I'm joking, though. But my immediate goal would be to become the Scripps National Spelling Bee champion, and then in the future, I want to become a TV show host because I really like being in front of the camera and presenting. It's great. And then maybe in the future, I also want to do some public service and maybe even become the president of the United States one day. I have a lot.
Lovely.
I'll
Lovely.
just have to see where it goes and where it takes us.
Wherever life takes you, Akash, I see you as a very energetic and honest young man. I see that in your smile. I see that in the innocence also. I mean, ignorance and innocence are two different things. Of course, you would know that. And the innocence is the art of still being pure, and you're pure. I would really be rooting for you. And if someday, God bless, you end up, going on to be the commander in chief, that would be a moment that I would be really, really proud of, because I'm going to mark this down. Because I have a fellow vision, and a lot of people are working on it. I want to do something for the state, and I've been working towards it. Right. So I'm 32 now, right? By the time I'm 40 to 45, I intend to see myself somewhere in the state of Tamil Nadu. That is where I'm from.
Nice.
So no dream is too big, and I wish you all luck with that. And is there anything you want to tell all the kids out there, all the parents out there listening to you? What do you want to tell them as your final word of, expression? What do you want to share with them?
Yeah. So to all of the kids watching right now, I would like to say that anything is possible. Literally anything. First, try to identify your passion, what you really want to do. Try to identify that. And then once you've done that, then set up a goal, an ambitious goal, one that sounds hard, but will soon be easy and that you will soon reach. Once you set up that important goal, then you work hard from your heart with all your might and just work super hard to reach it. I can tell you this. Anything is possible. Anything and everything. Just believe in yourself, work hard, and success will follow you and follow your passion.
Thanks a lot for that, Akash, and thanks to your lovely parents for being here and letting you talk to us. To all of you out there, happy Diwali once again. And today could not be even more special, being Children's Day and having Akash on the show with us. So I'm super excited, and I look forward to seeing you again at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Remember, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the days the Prodigy Talks, and we are doing it at 7 p.m. now. Once we're done, we might be shifting back to our 1 p.m. schedule in the coming months. But for now, thanks for tuning in, and stay safe and have a lovely, lovely Diwali, all of you. And thank you, Akash.
Thank you so much. By the way, one last thing is that I actually have a Wikipedia page, so you can go check that.
You do?
Yeah, it's got all the information. Yeah,
so please do share your Wikipedia page. Do you want to share it? Could you?
Yes, it's just go to Wikipedia and just type in Vukoti. It's AKASH space VUKOTI. You just search it up and it should be there, and you get all the information about me. And there you go.
Lovely. So all of you, do check it out, do follow his YouTube, and do check out his website, Akash Vukoti, as the way he spelled it a while back. So all of you, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Yeah. Bye-bye.